Everybody knows Ty Campbell. Ty's been a 3-year starter at quarterback. He's played 2 for me. Ty has accounted for 5,755 yards of offense in his career at Camden, spanning over those 3 years. He's honestly been one of the best leaders I've ever had. In 30-plus years of coaching football, I've had just a few of those guys at different schools, at different levels. And when you start talking about leadership is a huge reason why we were as successful as what we've been the last 2 years, and he's been a huge, huge part of that. He's earned a scholarship to Morningside College in Sioux City, Iowa. I just found out myself, and I did some Google, and they are back-to-back defending NAIA national champions. They were 8-0 in the shortened fall because of COVID. They're going to start again in the playoffs and that type of stuff in a month or so, which they're going to be playing for their 3rd straight national championship, and they have a 37-game winning streak. So this young man's not going to any college. He's going to a place he can play. And they think he can help them almost immediately offensively. Someone play quarterback for us. That doesn't mean that's what he's going to do there. They're going to put him where he can help immediately. Special teams, slot, receiver, back, you name it, he can do it all. And we know he's certainly got the ability to do that. As a coach, when you coach as long as I have, you start remembering years gone by, your leaders and kids that were great players and all that type of stuff, and you start to get a top 5 and you get a top 10 kids that play for you. He's easily in the top 10 of kids that have ever played for me from a leadership standpoint, just from more than anything else, what he did to everybody else around him. He's a good player, we all get that, we all know that. But his leadership took everybody else around him up to a different level. And I think we all saw that last year with the season that we were able to have. And that's pretty unique. Not a lot of kids have that at this age. He possesses that. And that's probably, not that we're not going to miss your athleticism, I'm not saying that. We're going to miss that probably more than your athleticism. So let's give this young man a hand as he signs his scholarship.
So Ty Campbell signing with Morningside College. That's a pretty good program, like Coach Wallace just alluded to. 2-time national championship. What's it like for you to sign today?
It was awesome getting an email from the head coach that actually recruited me. And I looked up their program. I looked up what they did and what they believed in. It was kind of the same stuff Coach Wallace has taught me, and I thought it'd be really great to keep going with all that and winning.
And you've been on this college search for, I think, 2, maybe 3 years. What's it like finally getting that done and knowing where you're going to be?
It definitely relieved some stress. I mean, it's really stressful. I was kind of picking between 2 colleges for a little bit, and after I made the decision and called the coach, I kind of knew I made the right decision.
And you already talked a little bit about it, but what was it on your visiting day? I mean, what kind of made you turn your head around and say, I want to go with these guys?
Just how professional they took it and how serious they took the program and the college, and going there, like they talked about, education first and not the football side of it, which is really cool because, I mean, you're a student athlete, not just an athlete. So.
And how do you feel about moving on? Now are you going to keep playing quarterback? Kind of do you know what the game plan is right now?
Yeah, so Coach Ryan kind of told me that for them, their quarterback's usually like 6'2", 6'3", taller, in the pocket. And so he said, since I'll be an athlete for him, I'll be running back, wide receiver, slot, anything for him.
And what's it like knowing that, usually when you're in one position, you're pigeonholed, but for you, sky's the limit right now? What's it like?
That's cool. I mean, it kind of relieves some stress because quarterback, there's only one. Wide receiver, there can be 4, 5, 6, 7 running backs. You can have 2 or 3 of them. So I think it would be fun for me.
And final question is, what's the plan from here on out? Of course, you got a whole another semester before graduation. What are you going to be doing?
I'll keep in touch with the coach, see what I need to do to be the best I can be.
And do you see yourself getting on the baseball field, or are you like, my name's signed away right now? I'm reserved property.
I'm playing baseball, yes.
All right. And, upcoming season, of course, you took basketball off, but baseball's just around the corner. Kind of how do you feel about heading into baseball now?
It'll be fun. Coach Simpson's the new head coach, and he was on our football staff, so it'll be fun to keep that rolling because we have a good friendship. So.
All right. And one more question, I guess, which is, you're moving on. You're not that you're no longer trying or anything like that, but just taking this next step of your life. How do you feel right now?
It's cool. It's really cool. I mean, I've always waited for this moment, waited to see where I went, and I know it's not D1, but still, my work paid off, and I'm glad to sign with a good team.
Oh, and one more question. I'm sorry I keep bothering you, but what is it about Cameron, do you think, that got you this position today? Of course, your dad used to coach you for a little bit, but what do you think being a Dragon kind of helped you get to where you're at right now?
Definitely all the coaches that have helped me through everything. I mean, I've went through a lot of coaches football-wise, and all of them have told me that, I mean, if you put the work in, you can go to the collegiate level, and you'll be good enough. And they believed in me, I believed in them, and it worked out.
All right. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you. You watched your son sign his name. I mean, you've been in that same position from when you played, but being his coach, his dad, his trainer at many points in his career.
That was the toughest role right there.
Yeah, but, I mean, what's it like seeing him move on like this now?
Very proud of him. Very proud. He really didn't want to play quarterback in youth and didn't want to play quarterback, but he became a quarterback, and it's one of those things. And, I think overall it's made him a better football player. But that's what he is. He's a football player. He's not just a quarterback. And Morningside kind of looked at him, and that was one of the questions Coach Ryan asked him: do you want to be a quarterback or do you want to be a football player? He said football player. That's where we're at. But he is. I think he's going to have an opportunity to play probably wide receiver, maybe slot, maybe running back. Maybe he'll end up back on defense. I don't know. I mean, he can play downhill safety, that's for sure.
And he's been through a lot of adversity, not only COVID, he got the concussion last year that he had to come back from. I mean, you've seen him climb out of a lot of holes. What's it like to see him kind of get to the top of the mountain, at least this mountain, because he's got another one to get to the top of. But
and he had hip surgery after his sophomore season, which a lot of people don't know about. We've had, unfortunately, 2 of the 4 Campbell kids have had tears of the labrum in their hip. Our middle daughter, Kylie, who plays soccer at college at Central Methodist, had hers done as a senior, and Ty had his done right after his sophomore season of football. Made it through about 3 weeks of basketball, and then ended up having to have surgery. So, I'm excited he gets to actually play baseball this year. He missed his sophomore season and then missed his junior season because of COVID. So he's excited to actually get to play baseball this year also.